Intro, we have heard that masturbating is something completely normal, but to what extent? How many times a day can you do it without being considered addicted? What if you can't stop? Let's answer these questions and why you should stop today with this act that seems normal, but hides a trap for your life. Before we begin, I would like to apologize for the exaggerated cover, but I needed to draw your attention to this 21st century issue that weakens and harms all our young people and adults, leaving us without willpower. In this video you will understand what happens to our brains scientifically and philosophically, and what Stoicism has to teach us about this vice. Also remember to subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. Now, history of masturbation. Let's begin. Current medicine is quite clear in stating that masturbation is completely normal, not only in humans but also evidenced in dogs and other mammals. But this view of normal masturbation was not always so in the past. Masturbating was thought to be immoral, especially in men, because unproductive seed production prevented people from reproducing. In the case of women, it was believed that masturbation could distance them from men by finding pleasure on their own, and without assistance to this moral burden was added the physical burden, stating that masturbation caused diseases, so it was not advisable to practice it at all. But let's return to the present. What do we know about masturbation, especially for men suffering from insomnia? What is known is that it induces sleep. The problem. French Institute of Health and Medical Research concluded that the male brain deactivates sexual desire after orgasm. The cerebral cortex, the area responsible for conscious thought, goes to rest once the man reaches climax. This, in addition to nullifying the desire to continue having sexual relations, facilitates sleep. Therefore many men fall asleep after sexual activity. But what is the problem? So what is wrong? Well, hidden in one of its benefits is a trap, and if you frequent this channel you will see what I am talking about. Masturbation releases dopamine in your brain. This hormone is responsible for making us feel better, providing calm relief from stress, reduction, and a sense of reward. This is dopamine, caused by dopamine, and is so pleasurable that some people become addicted. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders Incorporated, hypersexuality disorder. This classifies excessive masturbation under the category of obsessive-compulsive disorder, another vice that leads to mental and also familial destruction. In many cases you won't be able to control yourself, and you become a slave to yourself, a victim of lack of control, thus seeking relationships with prostitutes, sex with multiple people, and, as we saw in a previous video, excessive consumption of pornography. These are ways that a dopamine-saturated brain finds to obtain pleasure. Pay attention. Addiction to masturbation comes from chemicals released in the brain, and as addiction, our brain adapts to the release of these. It feels the need to continually find the codes that generated the stimulation. Your brain will start asking for more and more dopamine to achieve the same pleasure it had the first time making. You always have to keep looking for how to masturbate again. This reaches an exaggerated point when your brain realizes that the release of dopamine is excessive and begins to block receptor in an attempt to stop you. As a result, the person performs the pleasure act, in this case masturbates, but gets nothing, which frustrates them more than they already were. Excessively masturbating to satisfy that hunger for pleasure is exactly what a smoker who never stops, someone who eats chocolate until vomiting, or even an alcoholic does. At this point you must be wondering what Stoicism has to do with this. The Stoics. Stoicism. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Panis of Rhs. M. masters of self-control and wisdom, addressed the view of pleasure and lust from a unique perspective. From the words of Epicurus to the intimate thoughts of Seneca, they explored the depths of human passions, a legacy that still captivates us. For the Stoics, masturbation was not just a quest for carnal satisfaction but an opportunity to explore the limits of the body and mind. They saw it as an exercise in self-awareness and a path to true freedom. In their philosophy, mastery over worldly passions and pleasures was